What's going on, everybody? If you're here from the last two parts of this little King Diamond extravaganza, look at you go. Appreciate it a bunch, but if this is where you're starting, then welcome to the channel. And if you end up liking the finale, consider checking out the last couple parts. Maybe leave a little like for the Eldritch algorithm, maybe a little sub. For the final part of my King series, I'm going to be covering not one, but two.
And now, with the addition of two, count 'em, two
albums making up one big ol' story. So we're not going to waste any more time and dive headfirst into this duology with Them. Them was released in 1988, a couple years after Abigail first graced our metal-loving ears, but this time, King had a huge idea brewing. The idea? A story about a boy living with his mom and little sister Missy. One night, his dear old grandma is released from a mental asylum and taken back to the very house the family is living in. Absolute nightmarish chaos ensues. So you interested? Does it sound cool? In a creepy, fucked up way at least? Then let's jump right into Them. Of course, please give the album a listen first if the other two videos got you interested, or if this one already has you interested. Also, shameless ad, wasn't asked to do this by anybody. I just love this song. Go check out the new King Diamond track, Spider Lily. The King is back, baby. Good stuff. Our story opens in a dark thunderstorm as an old woman in a wheelchair is slowly rolled up to the front door of an ominously large house. From inside, voices speak to one another, chittering. Quote, "Look, the old bitch is back. Yes, finally we'll get some company again. The attic room has been locked up for far too long. Just like the old bitch herself. She's on time, though. Why that silly wheelchair? Oh, she's pretending as always. But she does make a good cup of tea." From the outset, a seed of mistrust is planted in our heads about Grandma not quite being who she seems to be. From there, we move to King's perspective as he messes with a music box of some sort while Mom and Missy eagerly await Grandma's arrival downstairs. Quote, "Now, Missy, listen to what Mother says. Now, you be good to Grandma, and remember, she's been away on a long vacation. And that goes for you too, King, and stop playing that thing while you answer the door." And with that, our stage is set and the real show begins with track number 2, Welcome Home. Quote, "Grandma, welcome home. You have been gone for far too long. Oh, is this a dream? Are you really back?" At long last, dear old Grandma makes her arrival home to King, Mother, and Missy. Quote, "Let me help you out of the chair, Grandma. Let me touch you. Let me feel. What the fuck? Homie, you are her grandson, for one, and two, how much older than you is she?" But I digress. King continues to usher Grandma into the house, saying, quote, "Wait till you see your room up in the attic. Prepared just like you said, without a bed." Clearly this lady is batshit insane if she doesn't want a bed to sleep on. But that's not all she has. Quote, "You will find your rocking chair and the teapot that Missy found." Now keep that teapot well in mind, as it's going to play a crucial part in all of the insanity to come. And also note the line, quote, "There is someone waiting for you. Now, come along." Wonder who this somebody could be. Quote, "Missy and Mother, they are dying to meet you." How strange. She's spoken no word. "I wonder, Grandma, are you all right?" King asks. Still no response until he, or Missy, maybe, ask her, "Grandma, what was it like to be at that holiday site?" Which we all know is really an asylum. I've always kind of wondered why it is Mother veils it as a vacation and a holiday site. Is it maybe because Mother knows just how messed up Grandma is and doesn't want to expose her kids to the subject of whatever it is that she did to get herself there? But it's Grandma's answer that clues us in that all is not quite well with her here. Quote, "Oh, it could have been worse, but with them by my side, in the twilight I sang all the old lullabies." And naturally, King asks, and so do we, "Grandma, Who are they? But no dice just yet. Quote, never mind, you dirty little brat. But then, after Grandma says this, something happens, as King on the record can be heard making this strange, almost grunting noise. It's almost like they want to be known, and it certainly changes Grandma's tone. Quote, let us go inside. Something's on their minds. They are still alive. Can you feel their eyes? Ooh, spooky. But before we move on, Meemaw gives King a warning. Quote, now that you are stuck with me, you'd better be my friend. So, we are off to a killer start out the gate. Lots of stuff happening. We have an asylum, them, Grandma, the family. What could come next? Well, we shall soon see in track number 3, The Invisible Guests. Later that very same night, King, quote, awoke from my sleep hearing unknown voices laughing insane. Grandma was one. It's coming from the room next to mine. It's Grandma's room. Okay, first off, why are you letting your kid sleep in the attic? I mean, if it's his choice, great, awesome, more power to him, but if that's where you're fucking putting him, what the hell, man? Anyways, our boy gets curious. Quote, as I stood there alone in the dark, peeking through the keyhole, I can't believe my eyes. I've never seen anything like it, only Grandma was inside her room, speaking to no one. How creepy. It makes it seem even more like Grandma is just not right in the head, but then we get some proof of their presence. Quote, cups were rising in thin air and then emptied on the floor. But suddenly, Nosy King is busted as, quote, suddenly the door was open and Grandma said, do come in, my little friend. No, what could this mean? Is King toast? Is he in deep shit? Well, actually, no. As Mom and Missy are asleep soundly below them, King has a seat in Grandma's wheelchair, I'm guessing. And she leans in close, giving him a warning. Quote, Grandmother said, look me deep in the eyes. You will forget what you saw here tonight. Like hell I will. Good luck with that, Meemaw. This shit is spooky. But she then says, I will let you in on the secrets of this house. The secret of Aean. That's what we call this house. Now I want you to go back to sleep. Interesting. Aean, huh? Now, King pronounces Aean a couple different ways over these two albums, but the majority of the time he says Aean as opposed to how he says it on the album here, which is Aman. So we're just going to stick with the former pronunciation for easiness' sake. On to track 4, T. Quote, on the following Friday as I turned out the light, Grandma came and knocked at my door. Wake up, King. Wake up, my dear. I'm going to show you about the house of Aean. Things are really getting interesting now, huh? King is awoken by Meemaw after seeing what he did, and so Grandma fulfills her promise to let him in on the secrets. But things suddenly seem off again when Grandma says, quote, even your mother is present. We made her sleep in my rocking chair. Naturally, King gets fucking scared, but something is obviously up with him too, as, quote, at first I felt really scared, but there was no reason to, as I saw the knife sneaking out from Grandmother's dress. Holmes, you should still be freaking the fuck out. But hey, we gotta advance the plot, right? Quote, then it cut a tiny wound in my mother's little hand. Whoa there, what? Why? At this point, I can only use childish ignorance and curiosity as the reason why King doesn't see this as completely fucked. Ultimately, this move does have an effect as, quote, blood was running into the teapot and then I heard them laugh. Then Grandma says, quote, a bit of this in a cup of tea is what it takes to set them free. You will hear them telling stories from far beyond this earth. And this naturally entices our young friend. Quote, what I saw and what I heard made me want to stay and learn. Again, I emphasize how King doesn't see his mother being used for this little ritual as completely screwed is beyond me. For now, he's just lost in the sauce. Quote, I really hope this dream will never end. It's hard to describe the kind of feeling that went on in my mind. A paradise. Hearing their stories and feeling their warmth, we laughed with tears in our eyes. From the first cup of tea to the last drop of blood, nothing seemed to matter at all anymore. My mother? She didn't exist to me. Oh, I felt so heavenly. Well, at least he finally acknowledged that his mother meant practically nothing to him after getting his first experience with the eponymous them. He's hooked, and there's no stopping, so naturally, track 5, Mother's getting weaker. Quote, tonight would be the last night that we had our tea, that bloody tea which sent us into ecstasy. Oh boy, King got himself hooked on the them juice and just can't get enough of it, but by this point, it's affecting Mother significantly as well. Quote, yesterday Mother complained feeling dizzy, all in pain. Mother's getting weaker, looking paler day by day. Yikes, but it gets worse, my friends. Quote, as morning came, she could not make it out of bed, and Grandma's spell was getting straight into her head. Not a single word. She didn't seem to be alive. In the midst of all of this, Missy, like any good daughter and little sister, attempts to lead King to a phone, but King is under such a spell he doesn't care. Quote, then Missy came in and she led me by the hand. I didn't want to go, but I should have known. Mother was barely conscious. Why should I care? Just looking forward to the next ordeal. I think I heard my sister begging me to stay. She gave me the phone so that I could call someone for help. Then, as if by their hand, he, quote, cut the wire. Naturally, Missy bursts into tears in disbelief at what King has just done. She can only say one thing to King's back as he leaves. I hate you. Wow. Fucking chills, and surprisingly only just now that I read that aloud without the music, but with the context of the rest of this mind trip. Just speaking it aloud here makes that line hit so much harder for me and makes the next song so much harder to describe. This is track number 6, Bye Bye Missy. Quote, tea time, Monday night. I was waiting and passing time when from the hallway I saw Mother in her nightgown swaying up the stairs. It seemed so unreal. I knew Grandma had sent them again. The invisible friends. Things proceed as usual until at long last, quote, a little later in the middle of tea, we came close to ecstasy. They were telling tales from beyond when Grandma rose. She opened the door, and there stood Missy. Seeing Mother in Grandmother's chair, she went into tears. Missy was screaming, what have you done? What have you done to my mom? Crying louder now.
We'd better get rid of her. She's too young anyways.
It was Grandma who spoke.
Bye-bye, Missy. Be gone forever. The beautiful fireplace in the kitchen will do.
Holy fuck, we went from 10 to 1 million like that. Missy has finally caught her brother and Grandma in the act of draining their own mother of her blood to use for a twisted fireside tale ritual of sorts. And to add insult to injury, Grandma now wants to murder her via the fireplace. But sadly, folks, it gets worse. Much worse. Quote, I saw Missy struggling in Grandma's wrinkled hands. Oh, no, you're hurting me. No, please, Grandma, please. Ow, Grandmother, you are hurting me. Don't touch me, or I'll break it. I've got the teapot. I'll do it anyway. And with that, Missy proceeds to shatter the teapot, and that's when we get a very interesting line from them.
Darn, she broke Aean.
So the teapot is Aean? I thought the house was Aean. What? Trust me, it's going to stay confusing for a minute, but I'm pretty sure, come conspiracy, Aean is a blanket term for the teapot, the house, maybe even them themselves. Quote, they dropped their teacups. Grandma stood still. Forced by invisible hands, Missy went down the stairs. And as I waved her goodbye, Missy was sobbing away. Will I ever see her again? Bye-bye, Missy. Don't be afraid. Yeah, this all hits so much harder hearing Missy say I hate you in the back of your mind now, doesn't it? The end of this song, going into track 7, A Broken Spell, has King shouting Missy's name. A broken spell is where King finally starts to realize all the things that he has done to his family as a result of his interest in them thanks to Grandma. Quote, I stumbled out of Grandma's room, down the stairs, and out of the house. Once outside, I felt my mind begin to fight a battle for control. Almost like the part of him who loves them and the nightly rituals is fighting to stop him from becoming rational and realizing what he's done. But also, he realizes something more. Quote, with the teapot broken, I kind of realized that their power was less here on the outside. A way out of this nightmare? Perhaps. Let's continue. Quote, I fell to my knees in haziness and I looked in through the window to the cellar. Things were moving down there. They were searching for something. And they really found it. The big axe was flying. Flying out through the cellar door, up the stairs to the kitchen. Then, I passed out. Now, we all can deduce what it is that's about to happen. We know the fireplace is involved, but King is only now coming out of the spell of them, so he clearly doesn't remember Missy being pushed down the stairs and Grandma threatening her with the fire. So even though we know what's to come, this next part is still heart-wrenching. Quote, the next thing I remember seeing was the smoke coming from the chimney. I soon realized that the smoke I saw was actually, oh no, all that was left of Missy and her dress. Poor little girl. Whew, my God, yeah, this is up there with Graveyard, but it's ever so slightly under it due to the factor of, fantasy spirits of Aean being a huge chunk responsible, Grandma being close secondly responsible, I guess. But finally, quote, the spell was broken. I really felt the change as my mind and body became one again. The moon was alive with its silvery eye, staring right into my evil heart. Evil. I went back to see if Grandma was still there, waiting for me in the attic. Oh, I hate that bitch. There he is. Now's the time for shit to really hit the fan in track number 8, The Accusation Chair. Quote, I kinda knew she would be waiting for me in her room. With a sick smile, she told me not to be a fool. Her eyes went hard, staring right into my brain, but I convinced her that I was feeling real fine. I was lying. Seeing the love in her eyes, clearing my mind was important. Rightfully so, King is pissed off now that he's come to his senses and he is out with a vengeance. And he already knows what to do. Quote, she believed everything I said, and so she asked me to help her bring her outside. Oh, I was lucky. Let us stay for a while, she said, bathing herself in the moonlight. So there she was, unprotected by them. So I grabbed her cane and tore it out of her hand. No way! You're not going to escape. Now that I've got you, you will pay for your deeds. Your sick mind has come to an end now. And with that, the music goes insane, becoming discordant and unsettling, and we hear whap after whap, and their voices become louder and louder until, stop it! King screams, and they go silent. Quote, nowhere to hide. Grandma had died, alone in the night, and they were waiting for me, waiting inside, hoping that I would come back in, but I just ran away. Into the woods, as far as I could. I saw their eyes. And then I fainted again, going insane, dreaming that I was one of them. I hear their voices all the time. Now, guys, Papa Demas is about to spoil you big time. Biggins. Big spoils. I'm going to say this. Help a brother out and spread this video far and wide. These two albums are the reason that I not only love concept albums, metal, among other things, but they're also why I love writing and making art in general. So please, please, share this video around to fellow King fans, or hell, even just horror fans, because I know they love this story. Comment, sub, anything helps to get more eyes on this, as I'm just going to go ahead and play this song in its entirety. Track 9, our title track, Them, is an incredibly creepy, atmospherically squirm-inducing song where our boy is in between consciousness and unconsciousness as they speak to him in his mind, telling him to come back to remember the tea and then remember that they're more powerful. They put their foot down. And that music box callback at the end there? Chills. Chills and everything. So on to track 10, Twilight Symphony. Quote, morning came, and so did they, flying questions from the police. I'm waiting here in an ambulance for Dr. Landau to return and tell me why they're taking me so far away. I did what I did, and I'm glad that I did, because I could have been the next in line. Very true, he could have been. He was the only one left alive amongst the innocents. Well, okay, he isn't necessarily, quote, innocent, because he killed Grandma instead of just booking it, but if they could pull what they just did, making him pass out and return, there may have not been any other way. Now, another thing I know you're thinking, who the fuck is Dr. Landau? For now, he's a minor character in the story, but he will make a big comeback in Conspiracy. Quote, nobody found a trace of Missy. I'd be the last to tell them anyway. How could I ever explain? That's a great question, bud. How the fuck do you explain this shit? But first, let's play our favorite game. How bad did we fuck up Grandma? Well, here's what he did. Quote, Grandma was dead with an open neck, blood still running from her open mouth. I knew they would blame it. They would blame it all on me. How could I ever explain? Whoa! That is brutal. Metal as it fucking gets, but, quote, Dr. Landau returned, and I told him the story. Are you mad or just insane? I tried anyway. You can take him away now. The boy has lost his mind. Oh, no, no! Well, what did you expect, Kingy boy? Yeah, alright, that story checks out. Your grandma came to your haunted house and just so happened to introduce you to some ritual shit that you used your mother's blood for before your sister gets killed because she got you. So then you killed your grandma as revenge. Yeah, okay, that checks out. But he gets shipped away, and I would cover the song Coming Home next, but Phone Call got added on later on as in one of the reissues, I think, and I think is a much better segue into Conspiracy. And you better remember your assignment and how much I love you. Spread her around, because here's the track in full.
Who's this?
It's your grandmother.
You're dead.
In a way, yes. Now listen. Are you still there?
I'm still here, Grandma. Yes.
Come to the old house tonight. There's quite a few people here who would love to see you.
Stop it! It's starting all over again.
What a ride! But, lads and gents, we're just getting started. Grab yourself another brewski or whatever you're drinking, maybe a nice glass of milk. Grab more snacks and munchies and grip your seats just a little bit tighter, as like our boy said, it's starting all over again. Welcome to Conspiracy. Quote, "Oh, Missy, I miss you so. Oh, little sister. I wish you'd come back to me and play by my side. We'd laugh and we'd play again if only you'd try. You know they would show the way from the other side." King mourns his sister, hoping against hope that he can see her again, if for even a day, but then his crazy creeps in. "Rise from your grave, little sister." He then proceeds to lose his ever-loving mind, screaming "Rise" over and over, quote, "Rise, my friends," as he beckons them for help and begs Missy to come forth from the other side. And they are more than happy to be free once again. Quote, "Icy fingers all over my hands, trying to make me understand. Finally, we have returned, all of us." But then, quote, "Missy, is that you? Come closer." But is it? Quote, "Spirits rising from their graves. Everywhere that ghostly stare. Icy fingers all over my hands. Lead me back to where she stands. They are back to share my life." Cackle time! They're back. But luckily, no trick by them here, it seems. Missy really seems to be back. In spirit, at least. Quote, "Missy, come with me. There are things I must know. How did you get here? Where is the door to the other side? Beyond the graves lies the gate that leads to the dead. But we have to leave before the dawn, if not, by the sun we will burn." Interesting. This will be expanded on here pretty soon. King, probably due to the grief of losing his sister, has slipped right back into the spell of absolute insanity, saying, quote, "Am I glad you have returned? All of you. Uh-oh, that's not good. What else isn't good is King picked up a thing or two from good old Meemaw. Quote, do you remember when grandmother said that she heard them sing? I've heard them too, and I really wish I could hear them again. Missy responds, quote, in your mind you'll hear them sing every night at the graves. We have to leave before the dawn, if not by the sun, we will burn. But King just really needs that them fire, that solid them track to calm his nerves. Now sing! And so they do, King slaying the keyboard to give us this ethereal and otherworldly song. Listen to the album. I gave you some, and the algorithm gods are already upset before this video is even released, so usual disclaimer, unless you don't give a shit, in which case, moving on. Track 2, and I'm pretty sure a personal favorite for a lot of us King heads, Sleepless Nights. Quote, I cannot sleep at night. That's what the day is for, anyway. Amen to that, brother. If only adulting had a nap time, am I right? Right? Just me? Okay. Quote, and as the clock strikes midnight, I hear them dancing at the graves, singing to my mind, killing the pain. Run it back. Run it back. Love you, Evie. Hit me up. Go check out his channel, especially his recent Detroit video. Good stuff. Seriously, Evie. Hit me up. So now, not only is King nocturnal, but he also gets his sweet, them banger fix and gets to see Missy, but all of this comes at a price. Quote, then let us make you an eternal deal. You will attend to the graves. Just give us the house back and keep in mind that we only come here at night. And this is where it kind of clicked for me that Aean is multiple things, but in this particular album, I'm pretty sure it's just strictly the house. And King, the absolute madman, agrees to this deal. Quote, so we made the deal under the starry night, and Aean belongs to them now. I feel the dawn coming our way, and as the sun breaks up the dark, I can't hear them dance no more. There is no voices killing the pain. And our track fades out with King falling asleep in his them song-deprived agony. Hey, so do you remember Dr. Landau? Track 3, Lies, is where he begins to play a crucial role in the story as he's King's therapist. Quote, yesterday I spent an hour, a full hour, in therapy. My favorite, Dr. Landau. My God, I hate his breath. I love the absolute aggression King puts towards Landau during this song. It is borderline hilarious, but you root for King so hard. Quote, he asked me questions. That kind of fool deserves a lie. I gave him answers, the kind of answers doctors like. Yes, I gave him a bunch of lies. I told him all my nightmares were dead and gone. These days I sleep like a baby, and there never ever was a them. It honestly kind of sucks that this shit is something no one would believe unless they were there, like, we were. And we just have to sit right along with him and just take the lying like, well, himself and Landau. Speaking of which, Landau takes a deep look into King's eyes. Quote, no trace of insanity. I think the time is right now to have a visit from the family. But then, what he says next is implied that it is meant to be a creepy threat almost. I'm thinking of your mother. What does my little patient say? And King rightfully wants to fucking kill him for this suggestion. Quote, I should have taken his stethoscope and forced it down his throat. My mother was at stake, so I behaved. Well, at least he's sane enough in the regard that he really needs to keep Mom out of this whole shit show and happy after the whole, last shit show. Quote, that night I cleaned the entire house for everything but the memories. No dust, no tea. Ah, stupid me. I even took the axe away. But sorry, buddy, your time has ran out and you got your fix. Quote, the sun is up and it's time for bed. Ah, I'm so tired. But now, let's take ourselves a chill break. Slip into a dream. Quote, it must be summer. The sky is clear. The garden is so beautiful. All the flowers and all the trees make me feel like they're inside of me. I'm holding my sister's hand while we're playing in the sand. It's all but a dream. Holy shnikes! Shit goes from -10 to 100 real damn quick. Quote, my bed is moving. I cannot see a thing. I am in total darkness. Someone is calling. I can feel the chill. It's all around me. I know it's not a dream. No, no, no. Someone is in my room, standing at the edge of my bed. It must be a visit from the dead. So who in the hell is disturbing our happy little dream, huh? Quote, now I see her figure, it's just a little child, and there is no reflection, she's in the mirror. Can it really be? Has she returned? My little sister? This is why I questioned earlier if it was really Missy on At the Graves, but it is what it is. She's here to give our man a warning. Quote, King beware, something bad is coming your way. Missy, will you tell me? You know we don't have any secrets, King demands, but she isn't budging. Just beware. But rightfully, King presses her. You've got to tell me, Missy. Come on, now spit it out, girl. So she compromises with her brother. I will send you a dream. Ooh, the plot thickens. So let's not waste any time. Track 5, the wedding dream. Oh. Oh, no. If it hasn't clicked by now, that's right, Landau is trying to get with King's mom, and that is not good for King and them's deal. Quote, my mother is entering my dream now. She's wearing a wedding dress. Something's wrong with the way she walks the aisle. I think it's her legs. Suddenly, there is someone else beside her. That man I recognize. The doctor intends to marry Mother. It's got to be stopped. That makes 2 of us. All right, soldier, dream scenario. The creepy-ass doctor is marrying and most likely taking advantage of your mother. What do you do? Quote, oh, now what have I done? My mother's on the floor and the doctor's gone. Oh, everything is wrong. And as I keep the axe, I wonder what's to come. And I'm going to read this next part because it's so... I'm lost within a dream. There's no way out. I can't escape. If only I could see the light of day, I might escape this dream. The wedding dream. Well, don't know if that was your fumble, soldier, or what, but I guess you tried. Here, have a gold star. But seriously, this dream, or rather nightmare, is enough that poor King pines for the light of day, and by proxy, the pain of not hearing them sing. It's that bad. But it isn't over. Quote, now everything turns to darkness. Deep within, I feel like I'm going blind. There is a light at the end of this starless nightmare. Someone's calling, guiding me back inside the dream. Get away from him, Mother. You better stop kissing him. 'Cause he's the enemy. Take a look at his hand. He's got the key to my house. The doctor is the devil. Oh, shit. This is worse than we thought, eh, class? What the fuck am I, Miss Frizzle with a damn traffic cone in my head? Why? But yeah, I'm not 100% on if Landau is seriously legit the devil, but knowing King, I'd say it's a solid, if not 60-40, at least 50-50, at least. Before he awakens to sunrise at last, someone is screaming, help me, please. And it's me. But finally, he awakens and knows that things are about to go very, very wrong. The doctor, possibly the fucking devil, wants to bone his mom and take the house of Aean for, I assume, himself, and King's screams of help tell me Landau ain't planning on leaving him in one piece to accomplish this. Track number 6, Aean belongs to them. Later that day, I'm guessing, Mother returns to the house and to ultimately see the boy, now man, who for all she knew caused everything in part 1, especially Grandma's murder. But even then, quote, it's all a part of an act. She can stay so long as I keep the pact. Honestly, I think that dream has kind of made him apathetic in a way, because he knows someone else isn't too far behind and knows none of this is really genuine. Oh, my bad. Now she arrives. Quote, there's someone ringing at my front doorbell. I see my mother standing there with the man I want to send to hell. O king, see who came along, mother says, like salt in the wound. King thinks to himself, or says aloud, really hope it wasn't the latter, Ma, you don't understand. It's all a part of the deal. There is no way that I can let him inside. You see, Aean belongs to them. Mother doesn't even press him further. She just says, you go ahead and have a talk with the boy, my dear. You better bring this along. Something might go wrong inside. Oh, you cheap... Low. It's low, Ma. So King folds, letting them in, but attempts to completely ignore Landau. Quote, come on, Mother, let me show you the house. There is a lot to discuss. But Mother begs, oh, King, please just let him in. Looking ahead in the lyrics here, I think we're about to get confirmation this buffoon is saying the whole Aean belongs to them bit thing aloud. I'd do the facepalm thing again, but I won't. I mean, look, quote, now let me tell you what I've seen in the house lately. I've seen your daughter here, coming and going when the dark is near. You must never ever tell anyone of what I've told. I've heard them singing too. Hey, Mother, what's that foot? She plunges the needle in, and King once again passes into something weird, which is our next track, which is just an instrumental, and it has a very similar vibe to the track Them on last record. King floats through a drug-fueled haze, eventually awakening, knowing he's been victimized. Quote, a little later in the day, Mother and the doctor went away. They left me lying on the floor, headed for the local church without a trace of guilt in their eyes. The Reverend Samael, he's the venom of God himself, and so easy to convert. What is it that this Reverend could do for these two twisted folks' cause? Quote, knocking on the preacher's door, none of them were ever here before. Samael, God in his eyes, leads them into the silent room. Such a holy gloom. Then Landau speaks up. Quote, priest, do you remember King, the loony one? The one that killed his grandma up on the hill? Yes, I do. Now he's back. Landau slowly begins to convince the priest of King's lunacy, and naturally the priest also takes the spiritual route. Quote, from what you tell me, we cannot save him. It could be Satan himself, or some evil demon. Let us not waste any time. The demon might twist our minds. We must go and do what must be done. Yeah, asshole, and what might that be? We'll find out soon enough, but first, Landau's got to rub it in our faces that he's winning. Quote, soon the house belongs to us, my dear, and King will be gone forever. Isn't it just heaven? Honestly, it's that line that convinces me it's genuinely Satan, the devil, pulling all of this bullshit. But let's see just what they have in store for our beloved King in track 9, Let It Be Done. Played in full, I love you too. Mwah.
Who's gonna set fire to the coffin? I think you and your wife to me should do it together, while I keep the demon inside with my crucifix. So it's into the coffin, use the torch, and then we put the remains into his sister's grave. Right? Yes. Let it be done.
Well, I'll just say track 10 now, since it's pretty damn obvious what's about to happen. Cremation. That's right. This is their final step in gaining the house for themselves and being rid of King the quote lunatic. It's a fantastic little instrumental that builds up tension and fear of what's about to happen to him. On stage, King himself is actually put into a coffin and lit on fire. Well, he used to way back when, but I had to spit that little fact because that's so fucking cool. But King has one last thing to say, one last spit of venom for Mother specifically. Whenever the dawn is near, I will return from the grave to haunt you, God-forsaken whore. He lets out his dying breath and we fade out on the chilling sound of a fading church bell. And that was what I like to call the conspiracy of them. 2 fantastic albums, one hell of a story that leaves you on the edge of your seat from the start of them to the end of Conspiracy. Them was my very first King album, Conspiracy naturally being my second. And it's how I knew I loved storytelling deep down, because you can create such insane things like these albums, Abigail, among King's other works. But these two right here, they will always have a special place in my heart as one of my favorite horror stories in general, not just favorite albums. This video, or videos in particular, have been a passion project. The whole series has, but those were kind of just a primer for me to get back into editing and stuff again. And as proud of those videos as I am, I'm honestly even more so proud of this one, and I sincerely hope you all enjoyed watching it as much as I did making it. Like I said, algorithm will probably shut this video down due to all the clips, but I couldn't not put at least a couple in. As always, I highly encourage you to go listen to these 2 records for yourselves, especially if you love a good horror story like I do. With all of that said, thank you so incredibly much for making it to the end of this video. As for what comes next, I'm not really sure, but I've got a ton of ideas, so keep your eyes peeled. I'm sure something will be coming within the next coming week or 2. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Peace.